There's a moment in every life where everything shifts, not because the world changes, but because you change. It's the moment you realize that waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect time, or the perfect opportunity is a game you'll never win. The Stoics taught us that life doesn't reward intentions or idle dreams. It rewards action. And the greatest power you have is the ability to choose, right now, to act. No matter your circumstances, no matter the obstacles, you hold the key to transformation. Today, we're diving into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to uncover how you can seize that power, take control, and align your life with purpose and meaning. This could be the moment where everything changes for you. Let's begin. The catalyst of change. In life's grand narrative, there are instances that serve as profound turning points, where the ordinary flow of events is interrupted by something extraordinary. These are not just mere interruptions, but pivotal moments that can completely redefine our existence. These moments are our focus today, the inflection points that signal a shift from one chapter of our life to another. You might already have experienced several such moments, or perhaps yours are yet to come, lurking just around the corner. Regardless of their timing, these moments hold a beautiful promise. Once we embrace them, they set us on new, more enlightened paths, brimming with potential and laden with opportunities. Consider the nature of these transformative instances. They often arrive unannounced, catching us off guard. A casual conversation that opens new vistas of thought, an unexpected encounter that challenges our long-held beliefs, or a sudden personal revelation that shakes the very foundation of our understanding. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches the virtue of wisdom, courage, and acceptance, offers a lens through which to view these changes. It teaches us that while we cannot control every event that happens to us, we can control our reactions to them, and in our responses lies our power and our potential for growth. Reflecting on my own life, I recall a time filled with uncertainty and struggle. At 25, I found myself grappling with a reality far from what I had envisioned. There I was, financially unstable and mentally exhausted, questioning the very essence of my efforts and the direction of my life. It was a period marked by deep introspection and a quest for meaning, a quest that many of us embark on at various stages of our lives. Stoicism reminds us that adversity is not just a test of our resilience, but a teacher of invaluable lessons. It is in our most challenging times that we often gain the clearest insights into who we are and what we are capable of achieving. This introspective journey led to a life-altering realization. Change was necessary. But how does one initiate such change? The Stoics would argue that change begins with self-awareness, recognizing the discrepancies between who we are and who we wish to be. This recognition is the first step towards genuine transformation. It involves acknowledging our imperfections, understanding our strengths, and, most importantly, seizing the courage to refine our character in alignment with our ideals. In my case, the catalyst for such change was a mentor, a figure who embodied the virtues I aspired to. My mentor was not just a guide, but a mirror, reflecting both my flaws and my potentials. He introduced me to the core principle that if one desires change, one must become the agent of that change. This principle, simple yet profound, resonated deeply with me, echoing the Stoic philosophy of personal responsibility and the power of self-control. My mentor's advice was clear. If you seek change, you must first change yourself. This advice, though daunting, highlighted a fundamental truth, that our external circumstances often reflect our internal state. To alter my path, I needed to transform from within, embracing new habits, attitudes, and behaviors that aligned with the future I envisioned. Embracing change is not merely about making different choices, it's about transforming how we think, react, and engage with the world. It's about developing resilience, the kind the Stoics celebrated. Resilience that doesn't merely endure, but actively transforms challenges into opportunities for personal growth and wisdom. Each challenge faced, each obstacle overcome, and each fear confronted adds to our resilience and shapes us into more competent, capable individuals. The power of mentorship. In navigating the often turbulent waters of life, the guidance of a mentor can serve as a beacon, illuminating the path towards personal and professional growth. Mentorship is not merely about acquiring knowledge or learning how to perform tasks more efficiently. It's fundamentally about transformation. A mentor sees the potential within us that we might overlook and challenges us to reach beyond our current limitations. Consider the Stoic belief in the power of wisdom and guidance from others. The Stoics, including philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus, often discuss the value of learning from those who have already walked the paths we are currently navigating. They understood that having a mentor is like having a wise advisor who can provide perspective that comes from experience and reflection, which are crucial in helping us develop the virtue and resilience needed to face life's challenges. A mentor can often be the catalyst for dramatic personal transformation. They do not simply respond to questions or provide ad hoc advice. Instead, they invest in their mentees, fostering a deep understanding and helping them to see the world through a broader lens. This relationship helps to cultivate critical thinking and encourages a mentee to question their own assumptions and beliefs. In the context of Stoicism, this reflective practice is essential as it pushes individuals to consider not just what they do, but why they do it, aligning their actions with their values and principles. The real power of mentorship lies in its ability to accelerate learning and growth. By sharing their own experiences, mentors can help mentees avoid common pitfalls and navigate challenges more effectively. This is not about making life easier, but about making the learning process more efficient. Stoicism teaches us to value knowledge that comes from experience, practical wisdom, as it is a vital tool in the pursuit of a good and meaningful life. A mentor embodies this wisdom, having already faced similar struggles and learned from them, thereby providing a roadmap that can guide us through similar challenges. Moreover, a mentor's impact extends beyond practical advice. They can instill confidence in their mentees, reinforcing their ability to make decisions and take action. This boost in self-assurance is crucial, especially when one is faced with difficult choices or when stepping out of one's comfort zone, both common scenarios in personal and professional growth. The Stoic practice of cultivating inner strength and confidence through reasoned thought and reflection is mirrored in the mentor-mentee relationship, where encouragement plays a key role. Mentors also model behaviors and attitudes that are aligned with our aspirational selves. They exemplify the virtues we strive to embody, such as integrity, courage, and perseverance. Seeing these qualities in action provides a living example of what is possible, inspiring us to adopt similar behaviors and attitudes in our own lives. This aspect of mentorship is particularly resonant with Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of embodying virtues not just in thought, but in daily practice. Furthermore, mentors can help us to connect the dots between disparate parts of our lives, helping to create a coherent narrative that aligns with our overarching life goals. They provide a sounding board for our ideas, offering feedback that is not just about validation, but about challenging and refining our thoughts and approaches. This guidance is invaluable as we strive to live a life that is not only successful by external standards, but also richly fulfilling and aligned with our deepest values. Taking responsibility. In the journey of self-improvement and personal growth, one of the most pivotal steps is the act of taking responsibility for one's life. This is not just about acknowledging where you are or what you have done. It's about accepting that your current situation, regardless of external circumstances, is the result of your own choices and actions. This concept aligns closely with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes control over one's inner state and responses rather than external events. The Stoics teach us that while we cannot control everything that happens in our lives, we have absolute power over our reactions. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle highlights the essence of personal responsibility. When we face challenges or setbacks, it's easy to blame external factors, the economy, other people, or our upbringing. However, embracing Stoic wisdom means shifting focus from the external to the internal, from blame to accountability. Taking responsibility involves a deep dive into self-awareness. It requires us to look honestly at our decisions and behaviors and to question how these have shaped our current realities. This isn't about self-blame or dwelling on past mistakes, but is about learning from these experiences to foster growth and resilience. For instance, if you find yourself unsatisfied with your career, rather than blaming the job market or your past employers, Stoicism would advise you to explore how your own choices led to your current position and what steps you can take to change your path. Moreover, taking responsibility empowers us to make changes. It's an act of reclaiming control over our lives. When we stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstances and start viewing ourselves as active participants in our destinies, we unlock a powerful agency. This agency is the driving force behind real, sustainable change. It enables us to make decisions that align more closely with our values and goals, rather than reacting impulsively to situations. In practice, taking responsibility can manifest in various aspects of life. Financially, it might mean setting a budget and sticking to it, rather than lamenting a lack of funds. In relationships, it could involve addressing conflicts directly and constructively, instead of attributing tensions to others' actions alone. Professionally, it might look like pursuing additional training or education to advance your career, instead of waiting for opportunities to come to you. This approach also fosters a sense of integrity and authenticity, key virtues in Stoic thought. When you consistently take responsibility for your actions, you build a character that is robust and trustworthy. People around you start to recognize your autonomy and respect your ability to handle life's complexities. This integrity then reinforces your sense of self-worth and confidence, which are crucial for facing life's challenges with resilience and grace. Taking responsibility is also about forward movement and growth. It's about looking ahead and preparing yourself to meet future challenges more skillfully. This preparation involves cultivating virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, central to Stoic philosophy, which guide your actions and decisions. By embodying these virtues, you ensure that your responses to life are measured, ethical, and conducive to personal and communal well-being. Ultimately, taking responsibility is a liberating practice. It frees us from the constraints of a reactive life and opens up a realm of proactive possibilities. It's about acknowledging that while life may not always be within our control, our responses always are. Each moment then becomes an opportunity to demonstrate who we are and who we aspire to be, aligning our actions with our deepest values and principles. The role of action. Action is a foundational element in the philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches that the true measure of our philosophy is not what we say, but what we do. It's not enough to understand the principles of virtue and wisdom. We must live them out. This emphasis on action is crucial because it moves us beyond the theoretical and into the realm of the practical, where our choices and behaviors shape our lives and character. In the context of Stoicism, action is not just about doing something, it's about doing the right thing in accordance with reason and virtue. The Stoics believed that every action should be purposeful and contribute to a life well lived. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often wrote about the importance of acting in alignment with nature, meaning both the nature of the universe and one's own nature. To him, this meant acting with intention, using reason as a guide, and ensuring that each action was just, honorable, and for the common good. Taking action, therefore, involves more than simply reacting to events as they occur. It's about proactive engagement with life, making decisions that not only respond to present circumstances, but also anticipate future needs and challenges. For instance, instead of waiting for a health crisis to change poor lifestyle habits, a Stoic approach would be to proactively adopt a healthier lifestyle, recognizing that our body is a thing of nature that must be respected and maintained. This proactive stance is especially relevant in overcoming procrastination, a common hurdle that many face. Stoicism teaches us to break the cycle of delay by understanding the value of the present moment. Seneca, one of the great Stoic writers, emphasized that life's greatest commodity is time, and to waste it is to squander life's most precious resource. Every moment of inaction is a moment lost, and these moments accumulate into a life of regrets. By taking action now, however small, the Stoic practices aligning their daily behaviors with their greater life's purpose, thereby ensuring that no moment is wasted. Moreover, in the realm of personal development and achievement, taking action is indispensable. It is the mechanism through which we test our theories and ideas against the reality of the world. Without action, our plans and goals are just dreams. Action is what transforms these dreams into tangible outcomes. Whether it's pursuing a new career, improving relationships, or developing personal skills, action is the bridge between potential and realization. In practicing Stoicism, taking action also involves preparing oneself for the inevitable adversities of life. This is where the concept of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, comes into play. By mentally rehearsing potential challenges and setbacks, Stoics don't just passively wait for difficulties, they actively prepare for them. This mental preparation leads to more effective and resilient actions when faced with real-life challenges, as the Stoic is already equipped with strategies and a calm demeanor cultivated through their reflections and rehearsals. Taking action also means being accountable for one's decisions. In Stoicism, the idea of self-control and discipline is paramount. Each action taken is a reflection of one's inner moral state. By choosing actions that are ethical and aligned with Stoic virtues, individuals not only improve their own lives, but also contribute positively to their communities. This ripple effect underscores the broader Stoic belief that personal virtue contributes to social harmony. Lastly, the role of action in Stoicism is not just about personal gain, but about contributing to the greater good. The Stoics believed that all humans are part of a larger community, which Marcus Aurelius referred to as the cosmopolis, or world city. Every action, therefore, should be considered for its impact on this larger community, encouraging actions that support mutual growth and well-being. Self-improvement is the cornerstone of living a fulfilling and meaningful life. It's about recognizing that who we are today is not the limit of who we can become. The journey of self-improvement is not about perfection, but progress, a gradual and deliberate effort to align our actions, thoughts, and values with the best version of ourselves. This idea is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes continuous growth, virtue, and the pursuit of excellence as essential components of a good life. The Stoics believed that self-improvement is not just an option, it is our duty. They argued that as rational beings, we are uniquely capable of refining ourselves, and we have an obligation to do so. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, put it succinctly: "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This means that self-improvement begins with a clear vision of who you want to become. Once that vision is established, every action should be directed toward fulfilling that ideal. One of the key principles of Stoic self-improvement is focusing on what is within your control. According to the Stoics, this includes your thoughts, actions, and choices. By directing energy toward these areas, rather than lamenting over things outside your control, you create a strong foundation for growth. For example, you cannot control whether others appreciate your work, but you can control the effort and quality you put into it. This mindset fosters a sense of empowerment and clarity, enabling you to make consistent progress without being derailed by external factors. Self-improvement also requires a commitment to lifelong learning. The Stoics were avid learners, constantly seeking wisdom from their experiences, mentors, and the world around them. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently reminded himself to approach life with curiosity and humility, recognizing that there is always more to learn. Self-improvement is not a destination, but a continuous journey. It involves refining your character, expanding your knowledge, and developing your skills to better navigate life's challenges. One practical way to pursue self-improvement is through daily reflection, a practice highly valued by the Stoics. At the end of each day, ask yourself questions like, "What did I do well today? Where could I have acted more virtuously? And how can I improve tomorrow?" This process of honest self-examination helps to identify areas for growth and reinforces a commitment to betterment. It's not about self-criticism, but self-awareness, understanding where you stand and where you need to go. Another crucial aspect of self-improvement is cultivating resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but these are not obstacles to growth, they are opportunities. The Stoics believed that adversity is a teacher, providing the perfect conditions for developing inner strength and character. As Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When faced with hardships, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into stepping stones on the path to self-improvement. Self-improvement also involves the practice of virtue, which the Stoics considered the highest good. Virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are not just moral ideals, but practical tools for living a better life. By cultivating these virtues, you align yourself with what the Stoics called living according to nature, which means living in harmony with reason and purpose. For example, practicing temperance helps you avoid excess and maintain balance, while courage enables you to face challenges with confidence and determination. Another element of self-improvement is focusing on contribution, how your growth can benefit others. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected and that personal development should contribute to the greater good. Improving yourself isn't just about personal gain, it's about becoming a better family member, friend, and citizen. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on how his actions affected the larger community, reminding himself that self-improvement is most meaningful when it serves a purpose beyond the self. Self-improvement requires patience and persistence. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and setbacks are inevitable. The Stoics encourage us to be compassionate with ourselves during this process. Progress may be slow, but consistency is key. Each small step builds momentum, and over time, these incremental changes create a profound transformation. Setting concrete goals. This is one of the most powerful ways to bring clarity, purpose, and direction to life. Without goals, we risk drifting aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes our way instead of actively shaping our future. Goals give us a target to aim for and a roadmap to follow. They help us focus our efforts and energy, ensuring that we're working towards something meaningful rather than merely going through the motions of life. The Stoics emphasized the importance of living with purpose and intention. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the value of having a clear sense of direction, reminding himself to act according to his values and not be distracted by trivial pursuits. He believed that every day should be approached with deliberate action aimed at achieving a life of virtue and fulfillment. Setting concrete goals is a practical way to ensure that our actions align with our values and contribute to the kind of life we want to lead. A well-defined goal is not a vague wish or a fleeting desire. It is specific, measurable, and actionable. For example, saying, "I want to be healthier," is too broad and ambiguous to inspire real action. Instead, a concrete goal might be, "I will exercise for 30 minutes 5 days a week," or "I will eliminate sugary drinks from my diet for the next month." These specific goals provide a clear path forward, making it easier to take meaningful steps toward improvement. Concrete goals also provide motivation. When you have a clear objective, it becomes easier to push through challenges and stay focused. The Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature encourages us to set goals that align with our inner virtues and strengths. For instance, a Stoic might set goals related to practicing courage, wisdom, justice, or temperance. These virtues act as anchors, ensuring that our goals are not just about achieving external success, but also about fostering internal growth and character. To effectively set and achieve goals, it's important to break them down into smaller, manageable steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination or discouragement. Instead, think of each goal as a journey made up of smaller milestones. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, focus first on outlining the chapters, then drafting one chapter at a time. This approach not only makes the process less daunting, but also allows you to celebrate progress along the way, reinforcing your commitment. The Stoics also remind us that while we can control our efforts, the outcome is often beyond our control. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for our goals, but rather that we should focus on the process, not just the result. Epictetus taught that we should do our best in all things and then accept whatever outcome follows with equanimity. For example, if your goal is to get a promotion, you can control your preparation, your work ethic, and how you present yourself, but the final decision may depend on factors outside your influence. By focusing on what you can control, you maintain your inner peace regardless of the result. Another key aspect of setting concrete goals is tying them to a deeper purpose. Goals that are connected to your core values and long-term vision are far more motivating than superficial ones. For instance, if your goal is to save money, think about why it matters to you. Is it to provide security for your family, to gain the freedom to pursue a passion, to contribute to a meaningful cause? When your goals are anchored in purpose, they take on greater significance and become more compelling. Stoicism also teaches us the importance of reviewing and reflecting on our goals regularly. Are they still aligned with your values and priorities? Are you making progress, or do you need to adjust your approach? Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to evaluate his actions and ensure they were consistent with his principles. This practice of regular reflection helps us stay on course and make any necessary adjustments to keep moving forward. It's important to remember that setting concrete goals is not just about personal gain. The Stoics believed in contributing to the greater good and living in harmony with the community. When setting goals, consider how they impact not only your own life, but also the lives of those around you. For example, a goal to improve your communication skills can enhance your relationships, while a goal to volunteer regularly can make a positive difference in your community. The essence of contribution. At the heart of a meaningful life lies the principle of contribution, the idea that we are not here simply to serve ourselves, but to add value to the lives of others and the world around us. This concept is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches that humans are inherently social beings, connected by a shared humanity and a mutual responsibility to one another. To contribute is to live in harmony with nature, fulfilling our role within the larger human community. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, frequently reflected on the importance of acting for the common good. In his Meditations, Marcus wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." This simple yet profound statement underscores the idea that our well-being is intrinsically tied to the well-being of others. When we focus on contribution, we align our actions with the natural order, living not just for personal gain, but for the collective good. Contribution doesn't have to involve grand gestures or monumental efforts. It can be as simple as lending a helping hand, offering encouragement, or sharing knowledge. Often, the smallest acts of kindness and support can create a ripple effect, positively impacting others in ways we might not even realize. In Stoicism, these actions are seen as expressions of virtue, particularly justice, which calls us to treat others fairly and work toward the betterment of society. When we focus on contribution, we shift our perspective from "what can I get" to "what can I give?" This shift not only enriches the lives of others, but also profoundly benefits us. Helping others fosters a sense of purpose, connection, and fulfillment that material possessions or personal achievements alone cannot provide. It is through contribution that we often find our deepest sense of satisfaction and meaning. The act of contributing also aligns with the Stoic virtue of courage. Sometimes, offering help or standing up for what is right requires bravery. Whether it's speaking out against injustice, supporting someone in need, or dedicating time to a cause, contribution often asks us to step outside our comfort zones. This courageous engagement with the world strengthens our character and reinforces our commitment to living a virtuous life. In addition, contribution builds resilience. When we focus on helping others, it shifts our attention away from our own struggles and toward the needs of those around us. This outward focus not only provides perspective, but also strengthens our ability to endure challenges. The Stoics often emphasize the importance of perspective, recognizing that our individual challenges are part of a larger, interconnected human experience. By contributing to others, we remind ourselves that we are not alone and that we have the power to make a difference. Another key aspect of contribution is its role in creating lasting impact. Material possessions and personal accolades may fade, but the positive effects of our contributions often endure. When we invest in others, whether through mentorship, education, or acts of kindness, we create a legacy that transcends our own lifetimes. This idea resonates deeply with the Stoic focus on living in accordance with nature and leaving the world better than we found it. The Stoics also remind us that true contribution comes from a place of humility and authenticity. It's not about seeking recognition or accolades, but about genuinely wanting to make a positive impact. As Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Contribution is not about grandstanding or self-promotion. It's about living out our principles in tangible, meaningful ways. Contribution fosters a sense of gratitude. When we help others, we often gain a deeper appreciation for the support and opportunities we've received in our own lives. This gratitude further motivates us to give back, creating a virtuous cycle of generosity and growth. Remember, life is not measured by what we gain, but by what we give. Each act of contribution, no matter how small, ripples outwards, touching lives in ways we may never see. By striving to live virtuously, to grow and to give, we align with the deepest truths of Stoicism and create a life of meaning and impact. Thank you for being a part of Stoic Journal today. If this resonated with you, there's another video waiting for you that dives deeper into applying Stoic principles in everyday life. Click it now and continue your journey toward a life of purpose and wisdom. And as always, thank you for walking this path with us. Let's keep learning, growing, and living the Stoic way. See you in the next one.